Hello, I'm Reagan and I am 31 years old. I live in Texas and I have hypermobile Ehlers Danlos syndrome. I was first diagnosed 2 years ago when I was 29 years old by a doctor who ended up being super dismissive and hurtful, and it turned into a big mess. But last year, when I was 30, I found a new doctor who diagnosed me again, and I feel so lucky because while I've had symptoms throughout my life, I didn't really, they didn't become prevalent until 3 years ago. And then it only took me 2 years to get my diagnosis. And I know that's not the case for so many of you, and I'm sorry for that. My worst symptoms are widespread joint and muscle pain, fatigue, and migraines. I manage my EDS symptoms primarily through physical therapy, and my physical therapist uses a wide range of techniques from strengthening exercises to dry needling, myofascial release, and A-stim therapy. I also use a bunch of different braces to support my joints and compression sacks to prevent blood pooling in the lower parts of my legs. And I make sure to drink a lot of electrolytes. I try to pace myself well to not overexert myself and to rest as much as I can. From EDS, these past 3 years, I have learned humility. It has taught me a lot. I've had to admit a lot of times when I don't know something. In addition to that, it has taught me how to admit when I can't do something on my own and to ask a loved one for help. And I'm the type of person who likes to be independent and to do things on my own. So it's very humbling to not be able to do that as much as I would like.
My name's Bradley. I'm 28 years old. I live in Australia. The EDS subtype that I have is VEDS, vascular Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. I was diagnosed via genetic testing because of complications due to aortic and arterial dissection and family history of sudden death. So my symptoms for vascular Ehlers-Danlos syndrome is I've had multiple aortic and arterial dissections. I cough up blood every now and then due to my blood vessels in one of my lungs dissecting and then healing and then repeating that process. I have some of the facial characteristics. Other than that, that's all a bit I've really experienced so far. So how they manage my syndrome is every year I have to go for my annual checkups down in Melbourne in Victoria. I get CTs with contrast and MRI scans. This is just to see if there's any troubles going on, and if there is, how they can try and prevent it from becoming a worse off situation than it is. I'm also on preventative medications. These medications aren't proven, but I'm just taking these to try and reduce the risk of another complication due to VEDS. What have I learned in regards to EDS? I've learned obviously a lot about vascular Ehlers-Danlos syndrome and all the other EDS subtypes out there. I've learnt there's a lot of charities, support networks, and there's also a lot of other people out there that are going through similar situations. I've just learned a great deal in regards to EDS itself. Before my diagnosis, I never even heard of any of the EDS subtypes, so it's definitely one of the positives to take out of it.
Hi, I'm Amanda Jean, and I'm 37 years of age, soon to be 38 June of this year. I was diagnosed with hypermobile Ehlers Danlos at the age of 33 in year 2015. I'm currently awaiting genetic testing for classical Ehlers Danlos is what is suspected. My worst symptoms are GI, unfortunately. I have chronic nausea, chronic abdominal pain. I have joint issues, joint subluxations, muscle pain, muscle spasms, muscle weakness, Obviously brain fog, like dizziness from other comorbid conditions like POTS, also chronic migraines and headaches from spinal instability, and disc degeneration. I manage my Ehlers Danlos with medications, support, ice packs, heating pads, hot water bottles. I have a power port implanted into my chest for almost continuous IV fluids 24/7. I am unfortunately TPN dependent. I do have a feeding tube. At the moment it is a G tube, so I can have continuous draining and venting as my digestive system does not work. I also use nausea medication and allergy medication through my port, and I use bracing and mobility aids and my service dog in training. I have built a support system through online friends and on Instagram, and it means the world to me. Ehlers Danlos syndrome has taught me to not take anything for granted and to cherish everything I have, and to find the little joys in every moment through the days that we go through. And tomorrow isn't promised, and to keep an open mind because everything is not black and white.
Cheyenne and I will be featuring something called My EDS Stories. Within the next couple of days, we will showcase about 10 to 15 individuals who have different types of EDS, and we will showcase their story. We feel it's important that our stories are more well known and that EDS can get some more recognition in the medical field. So we hope that you enjoyed them, and we hope you enjoyed all our awareness posts.